Hey guys, thank you so much for coming back for another video. Thank you so much if you watched my last one, which I implemented some DNSSEC. That was so much fun. We did some trust anchor keys, that's some importing and exporting as far as DNSSEC keys to different servers. But nonetheless, we're going to move forward with our new video today is implementing AD Federation services, right? So we're going to do a few things. We're going to prepare some system requirements. We're going to enable some name resolution and prepare requirements as well as installing and configuring some AD Federation services. Let's go ahead and get to our first exercise. All right, so while some of these are finishing up, the first exercise is going to be preparing system requirements for ADFS resource partner, right? So the administration of network resources such as files, printers, applications can be managed by setting up access control lists or ACLs. I did another video including ACLs, but nonetheless, let me go through here. So ACLs to users groups and Active Directory and things of that nature, right? Or ADDS. So when a user logs into the domain by presenting their credential or identity and is successfully signed in, they're granted access to corporate assets based on their role on the network, right? So when two distinct organizations such as business affiliates need to share network resources, a federation can be established between the companies. So a federation, what that is it's a collection of realms or security domains that are with established relationships for sharing corporate assets, right? So Active Directory Federation Services, or ADFS, is a Microsoft technology that actually provides identity federation that uses claims-based authentication. So a claim is what it is it's a statement regarding a user, such as a user's name, email address, among other user attributes that actually identify the user to the application or resource that they had requested. So with setting up the ADFS, it typically involved two security domains, right? The resource partner and the accounts partner. And the resource partner is domain where the network resource is actually located. So this resource is typically like a web application or other type of asset that's shared with an external organization, right? So so the account partner is actually the domain that holds the account, such as users who will access the corporate assets located in the resource partner. So what we're going to do, the domain for us will be practicelabs.com naturally, where it's the resource domain where a sample claims aware application will be created. So let's go ahead and get started with our first one now that our server we need to start with is finally loaded here. So we're going to first add and install Active Directory certificate services. And naturally, we're going to start here, and then we're going to take a look at the PowerShell, right? So we're just going to install the AD Federation, I'm sorry, AD certificate with this command here. Let's see, ADCS, insert E. Okay. More than likely, it's a user error. Let's see. I knew exactly what it is. All right, perfect. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. There we go. There we go. All right, that should work. So now we see the install of the AD certificate services in progress, and we'll get a notification as we've seen before prior videos when it's successfully completed. There we're going to be able to install some certificate services using the default settings with the next command that we choose once the install is successful. All right, so the install is a success. So let's go ahead with the next command. All right, with the default settings. Okay, that's not good. All right, let's fix that. All right, so we finally fixed it. All right, so let's get back to regular scheduled programming. Yes, did not feel like coming to work today. So I'm typing, but it's not. There it is. Okay. There we go. Yes, of course. actually, no, that was wrong. All right. Let's see. It's already installed. Now we're gonna have to reload this because I need to do all, not just yes, but I need to do all. So let's fix that. All right, so we got that situated, and now what we're going to do is we're going to export the root certificate authority certificate to a file. So now the root CA or certificate authority will be exported to a file and will later be used to create a certificate trust with an external organization. So to do this, I actually have to minimize this really quick. And then let's go to the CA. Let's go here. I'm going to maximize this. And then let's actually hit refresh first. All right, perfect. So let's actually go to properties. Let's view certificate here. All right, so let's take a look at the details. All right, and we're going to copy all of the details to file. All right, and let's see. Let's file forward. That's good. Okay. That's where we want it to be located as far as the file itself. All right, perfect. So now that we've done that, let's hit OK. Oh, excuse me. All right, perfect. And then let's actually hit OK here as well. All right, so now we're going to configure the custom certificate template on a CA server. So a server running the ADFS service must be assigned a custom certification that supports subject alternative names, right, or SAN. Assigning more than one name to a certificate is the concept of subject alternative names. And we're going to use our preferred search engine to research more about this at a later time in another video. So let's swivel over to here and see. Actually, no. Take a look at the templates. Right. Take a look at the web server. And then we're going to duplicate this template, right? And let's see. Let's do that there. Naturally, we want to change the name, right? Web. Yeah, let's do apply. Security. Right. Then we're going to add. Right. Let's see. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. Let's do that there. Computers, of course. Let's do that there. And then I'm going to do a few things here. There we go. Perfect. So we're good there. All right. So now we're just going to make sure. Let's see. I'm going to do enroll with this one and then this one the same. Perfect. All right. Just now that we got that taken care of, now we can issue the new template, right? So to make the certificate template available to requesting users, it has to be added into the certificate templates folder in the C8, right? So let's actually um, all right, perfect. And then naturally, we're going to choose the one we just made, right? Perfect. So now I'm actually going to close this out. So now we can request the web certificate for the ADFS server, right? So to do this, let's do MMC application for us to run the command, right? Then let's add But nonetheless, let's go to certificates. Let's add it here. And of course, a computer account, right? And then let's see, we're gonna finish. That's fine. This is fine. Let's expand this. Take a look at this one here, actually. Let's take a look at actually. We're going to request a new one. This is good. And of course, we want this one. Okay, I want to configure the settings for the properties, right? And then let's value. Actually, let's change this. Can't. See that one. Perfect. There we go. Common name is Practice Lab DCO1. All right, so let's take a look here, and then let's change this to DNS, and then we're going to do ADFS. Okay. Now we're going to do another one. Let's see. Right, perfect. We're going to do one more. Perfect. All right, so now we have the ADFs, the cert the cert authorization and the enterprise registration are now added. So we're good there. Let's hit apply. Then we're gonna hit OK, and we're gonna enroll, right? And then let's finish. All right, so now we can head on to our next exercise, which is going to be preparing the system requirements for the ADFS account. So a claim, right? We're going to actually let me not talk about a claim. I already mentioned that before. So we're going to install a new ADDS for us. So to do that, let's actually swivel over to SAO1. There it is. It wants to work today. All right, perfect. So we got everything finally up and running. So let's go ahead and open up that PowerShell. And we're going to type in naturally the command needed. Okay, perfect. So just installing. All right, so now that's complete as far as the AD domain services binaries. So now we're just going to, with the addition of the AD domain services, right? I'm just going to promote the SAO1 as a domain controller for another domain. So let's do this here. IP for the United Kingdom. All right, and naturally. Okay, yep. Go. Yep. So now it's just validating the environment and the user input that just had. So the domain controller is now being installed. After this, it'll take a few minutes to complete. and it'll actually have to reconnect as well. So I'll place the video on the other side of when that's completed. All right, so now everything has been restarted and installed. We're now going to install and configure some AD certificate services. So now the ADCS will be configured as the certificate root certification authority for this domain. So, and I'm also going to later establish certificate trust between Practice IT, CO UK, and PracticeLabs.com as well. So now we're just going to install the AD certificate services with this command here. Oh. Perfect. Not perfect. All right. So let's see what happened here. All right. So let's see. Looks like I'm going to have to refresh. Of course, everything was fine. It was just a user error where I had this as SC. It should have been CS. And it happens all the time. But nonetheless, we can move forward. Now we're just going to install the ADCS using the default settings like we did on the prior server. So let's do ADCS. We don't have any more issues. These exercises are long enough. Okay, of course. Of course. All right, perfect. So we're good there. So I'm actually going to minimize this. So now we can take a look at the certificate authority, right? And let me expand that. Let's expand that. Let's actually take a look at the properties naturally, right? So let's take a look at the certificate. Let me actually so some details, and that's what we're going to copy to our files. Right? Let's see. Next, pretty similar to what we did before, right? Okay. Perfect. So now, actually, exit out of here, exit out of here. All right, so we're good there. So similarly, I'm going to configure the custom certificate template on a certificate authority server. So this server, SAO1, is going to be configured as the ADFS server in the account's partner domain. As such, it must have a web server certificate that supports the subject alternative names or a certificate with multiple names, right? So let's actually, let's see, pretty much do what we did before, right? Duplicate, duplicate. Only difference is the names, but everything else doing exactly what we did before, right? Actually, not finished. Not finished there. Let's see. Actually, you know what? No. Okay, no, this is good. Perfect. So we're good there, right? Actually, we're not. So we actually need to do more things. And that. Actually, let me double check. All right, perfect. All right, so now we can allow issuance of the new template, right? So let's actually exit this out. Then let me make sure this is start. Okay. All right, perfect. So let's actually take a look here, and then let's see. Okay, perfect. So we got this here, so we're good. So actually, I can close this out. And now we can request a web certificate for the ADFS server. So now to do that, I'm actually going to do pretty much exactly what I did before, right? All right, that's fine. So let's select. Let's see, there it is. I don't know why it took me so long to find it. All right, perfect. And naturally, computer, right? Mhm. Mm, okay. All right, I'm not sure what's going on. Why is it acting the way that it is? But nonetheless, we're good to go. So let's actually take a look here. All right. Let's look at the certificate. All right, so that looks good. So let's actually request a new one. Of course, here. Let's take a look here. All right. And then let's see, common name, of course, again. Oops. Pretty much the same concept, right? I wish I should have copied that. And we'll just take it out. Yeah, do it. I did it again. All right. All right, perfect. So the names are now added, so we can do apply and OK. All right, and naturally we're going to enroll, right? That was quick. What she said. All right, perfect. So now we're going to create the GPO like we did before, the group policy object for trusted rooted and certificate authority and practice labs.com and practiceit.co.uk domains. So we have to establish, of course, a certificate trust between the practice labs and practice IT. So I'm actually going to swivel over to DCO1 and take a look at the server manager. It's not here. I'll open it up here. All right, so let's take a look at management. Right. Naturally, let's see. Names. Oh, I want to edit, right? Perfect. Actually, you know what? Let me open this. course, we can only continue. Perfect. All right, so we're good here. The import was successful. So that means the certificate of the root certificate authority server SA01 right here has been successfully added. So that means I can close this out, move on to the SA01, and go back to the server manager. And we're going to check our policy management with the server. All right, perfect. So naturally, we're going to pretty much do the same concept, right? Right. Yep, that's good. That looks good. Import was successful. So now that you can see that the certificate has been successfully added. So we can actually close this out. And now we're able to start with the next exercise, which is enabling the name resolution for resource and account domain. So the name resolution must be properly configured between two organizations that have them joined together within AD Federation Service Trust. So what I'm going to do is enable the domain controllers of each domain to have an alternate DNS server that points to an external organization. For example, practicelabs.com domain controller, right, which is called the Practice Lab or the PLab DC01 with an IP address of 192.168.0.1. We'll have an alternate DNS server that points to 192.168.0.4, which is Practice Lab or PLab SA01 and vice versa. So first to do this, I'm going to configure the alternate DNS and DNS forwarding. So naturally I have to start with DC01. So I can start with this here. Go. So let's start with this command. Made a grave mistake. Oh man, that's what I get for going so fast. Let me let's see if I can break it. There it is. So it's not going to return the status to indicate like a successful configuration. It's just going to pop up that I can perform another command. There it is. All right, perfect. So now let's head back to the server manager. Let's take a look at the DNS. If it'll let me. All right, so let's expand this here. Let's see, additional. Let's take a look. Go. All right, perfect. Now our domain that we want, as I mentioned, is going to be practice 18. And of course, we want the IP we just mentioned. There's the 14 again, right? So we want to store this in AD, right? Let's see, for seconds. So now that we see it here, our conditional forwarder, right? So it's available to us now. So now let's actually go, let me open this up. With the forwarder. Let's see. Go on new host. ADFS. And right. And that's perfect. So let's actually do this. Okay, let's add another one. They're both good to go. All right, perfect. So this allows me to swivel over back over here. Let's open up this command. Nonetheless, we're going to set we're going to set an alternate DNS server for the Ethernet connection. So that'll allow us to do this here. All right, again, once again, it won't return a status to like indicate a successful configuration or anything. So while it's doing that in the background, I'll be over here, right? Actually, no. Could have sworn the DNS manager was, but nonetheless. Let's open this guy up. Let's open this up here. Naturally, this is the vice versa of what we just did on DC01. Perfect. So we see our other conditional forwarder is now available here. So let's check over here. Right. New host, of course. I think I want. All right, perfect. So we're good to go. All right, so I can actually close this out. And so what I'm going to do now is prepare requirements for the ADFS server resource partner. So let's first start with installing IIS on the DM01. So let's swivel over here. Let's hope that was going to work. All right, so now we're just going to have this up and running here. All right, so let's take a look at our PowerShell. Perfect. So let's do this here. Let's see. Nope, we don't want that. But we do want to include the management tools. Okay. Always a user error, so let's see. Maybe it's this here. Okay, let's figure it out. Yep, I know exactly what it is. All right, so there it is. Okay. All right, so the Windows features are now being installed, and it'll, of course, give us a confirmation that the install was successful, which then will allow us to install the ASP and some other development tools, right? So should be just a second. All right, so the install has been successful, as you can see here. Success true, success, blah, 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 blah. All right, so now we're going to install the ASP. So let's do that here with no hiccups. Let's do that. Go. Okay, let's see where. See what the issue is. This looks good. One and right next to the router. Okay. There it is. All right, so the install is currently in progress. Um, so now it's actually once it's installed, it's actually going to restart as well. So I'll place the video again on the other side so we can continue with our next task. All right, so everything has officially restarted. So let's go ahead and run a few more things here. All right, so naturally we're going to follow the same process as before. All right. That's fine. All right, perfect. And then do that. Hmm? Um, I don't think that's. Oh, that's my bad. All right, so let's do this here. Oh, keep forgetting. Um, actually, I think that's all I'll be doing for this one. Yeah, I'm good. Let's enroll. Okay, perfect. So the certificates are now added, right? So now we're actually going to reopen this and let's take a look at IIS. Let's open this up. All right. All right, so a computer certificate is issued for DMO1, which is good. So now we can configure the secure socket layer bindings. And to enable the websites published in the DMO1 to use secure socket layer, a certificate must be bound to the default website. So let's actually suspend that. That findings here. And of course, we're going to add I believe this looks pretty okay. All right, now this out. And now we're going to download the samples claims application. So I also want to make sure that we're aware. I'm going to download the sample code to create a claims aware application technically, but I also want to note that this application does not have the full capability of a full-fledged claims application, will not be functional because of this lab. But nonetheless, I'm still going to continue with the exercise. Yes, that's fine. Let's do tools here. All right, let's save it. Oops. Extract, of course. Claim that. Perfect. So now we see a new file explorer window open. So a new folder with the claims app is opened up, showing us all the files located here. So actually, let's go to the downloads. Right. Let's actually click here and copy. And I'm actually going to put it, let's see, here. There we go. Perfect. So I'm actually going to close this out now. All right. Now let's see here. All right. Of course, it's going to be the claim app. Just done the physical path. No, there it is. Already has it there. That's cool. All right, perfect. So claims app is now added. So we can actually minimize this here. So that means that we can now install and configure the AD Federation services. So after successfully setting up the requirements for the resource and account partner side of the ADFS, I'm going to now install the AD for Active Directory Federation services on each organization domain. And with that starts with installing the IIS or the Internet Information Services on DCO1 here and SAO1 that's going to run the Active Directory Federation service. So I'm actually going to swivel over here and let's take a look at PowerShell. That we're going to do a pretty similar command that we did before. Thought I had it up. Probably restart. All right, collecting data, starting the install. All right,